I know you're not really set up right now. Just trolling out to the spot. I don't think he's on it. All right, so got a big old perch. Big perch. I mean, this is one of the biggest ones I think I've ever caught in this lake. Right there. Big perch. For us, that's a big perch. So anyway, we're go live another day. All right, let's go. We got to set you guys up somehow. Oi, let's see. We'll put you that way. Put you this away. Wait. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Big perch. Wow. Hit that big old round bill. They love this pattern, you know. They love stripes. A striped bait gets more hits. The perch love it. So, what can you do, right? I want a bass. I've already caught a smallmouth and a largemouth. So we're going to head about a half mile up. Take our time though, because you catch fish on the way up. Wait, let's get you guys so you can at least. Why does it keep spinning like that? Oh. Anyway, we'll go ahead and troll up there. Probably catch a smallmouth and a largemouth, and who knows, maybe some more big perch. I don't know. I do have some new baits I'm trying today, so that's kind of cool. There's a few boats out on the lake. You can tell, the weather. It's not supposed to rain today, but those definitely look like rain clouds above us. So I put on my winter jacket. Water's, what is our water temp? 63 maybe? Yeah. Water temperature 63 degrees. So right now, the lake's undergoing a turn. The thermocline, the middle layer, the barrier between warm and cold has disappeared. It's not there. And so what ends up happening is that the trout come up and share the water column with the bass. The bass are gorging. They're going to be going deep and pretty much sleeping it off for the winter. So my bass season's about to end. But this is about the right time to catch a big bass. It's just, you're going to catch a lot of different fish. Why does this thing keep spinning? It's just because of the weight of my bag on that seat. I don't know. So now the trout are coming up. So it wouldn't surprise me if we hook into a couple trout today. I want it. A bass. Trout are fun to catch though. They're just boring to fish for. So it is kind of fun as they come up from the bottom and share the water column. And that's the good part. And I want to try that out here in the middle of Rainbow, or in the middle of Aspen, and give that a shot. This round bill, it dives about 9 feet. We're in 13, 12 feet of water right here. We're going to go out a little bit farther because I really like to work it at about 15 feet of water and get that down in the bottom third or so of the water column, and try to get something from that depth. So this is a ultralight. This is my VFS setup. Interesting news. All the rods I lost last year, somebody played everything. I would have liked one of those rods back, but hats off to them. I mean, a lot of good stuff there. We got a lot of my baits, custom baits. They got they really got. I don't have Facebook anymore. I deleted that account. So this is about the only place you're going to be able to find me, besides emails. I do have a couple baits here for a buddy of mine if he's out on the lake today. He wanted me to paint 2 baits for him, so I've got them with me. They're topwater though. So see right now this thing is kind of bouncing off the bottom, hitting some rocks. We're in 10 feet of water. This round bill dives at about 9 feet. So there's probably some taller rocks, and it's knocking off the rocks. And, really, when you're dealing with a larger, a diving bait, you kind of like that. You want it to knock off the rocks, get some sound down there, and attract the fish's attention. So I'm coming out here. We're in 12 feet now, so we're going to come out here and we're going to work, a little farther out. Not really that deep over here. And our drop off is to my port side, so we're in 14 feet of water, which is great. And we're going to work this ledge up. And this bait is diving about 2/3 down the water column. And hopefully we get something. If not, we'll get out there to where I know there's a lot of fish, and we'll be working that. And we're going to break out that big old jerk bait. Let me show you. Let's throw that rod over. It'll go running. As long as they don't school me. I painted this one, so this is a big, giant, about 6.5 inches, I guess, something like that. Let's see. I think I got a measure tape on me. Yeah, it's 6.5 inch. It's a 6.5 inch jerk bait. I'm gonna actually set that up on my medium rod. So we're going to put that. That's it. Sort of a color shifting purple blue with a white belly and fluorescent green head to it. It actually looks very natural, the way this thing looks. So oh wait, don't fall in, Mike. All right, so let's take you off. That's a pretty bait too. This is a pretty bait. It's a multi-jointed swim bait that I painted. Not necessarily the best in quality baits, but they swim really good. And this one's sort of a, a rainbow trout look. So we're going to set this thing up. We do not want to drift too far starboard, so we want to keep this in that 13 to 15 foot range. And we're in there, so good. I apologize for my breathing. I'm going to start pulmonary therapy. Try to help get my breathing back a little bit more better. I don't know exactly what that entails, but so that's what we're going to fish with right there. We'll just stick that in that one, hopefully, and just work this round bill up to our spot. Like I said, it's about a half mile up. So a little crisp this morning. I think my truck said it was like 45 or something. You get used to the cold though, so it's no big deal. Broke a sweat this morning when I took my jacket off. I put it on just because it looks like rain clouds above me. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah. There it goes. Now it shouldn't spin on me. Yeah, good. We need to go farther up the coast here before we turn left. Maybe the weather will keep the attendance for the lake a little lower today than normal on a Labor Day holiday. So we'll see. My whistle. That's my whistle. Just in case I need help. This jacket is a flotation device, although I do have another one right in front of me. So I don't want y'all to worry. 63 degrees, so it's not hypothermic. So we're good. There's a bait here. I'm gonna clean up a bit. This is a new bait I painted. I already caught a largemouth and a smallmouth on it. So I already caught something on this. That went in the water. We've already caught that big perch. Big perch. Biggest I've ever caught in this lake. And this worked really, really well. Kind of an interesting, again, it's a green to purple, green to lavender color shift with yellow on the belly and the head. And it's what, you know, it's a shallow level dive. That bill on it allows it to go down about 3 feet and then level off, so it stays there. And Sixth Sense calls it their swank. It's one of my favorite baits by Sixth Sense is a swank. And so I found some blanks that are like the knockoffs of the swank, and I painted 5 of them, something like that. Anyway, really nice, and obviously works. In fact, let's toss it out there. Let's take this round bill in, and then we'll throw the swank out there. Look at Swanky. Swanky. I'm a little worried that it's a little heavy for this line because it's already broken. It broke off. So, but yeah, we'll see. Swanky. Swank. Okie dokie, that's a go. Whip it out there so we don't break the line. Just troll it behind us. Now this only goes down 3 feet. So now instead of working 2/3 down the water column, we're working the upper third of the water column. Kind of the way you're trying to find the fish, you know? I mean, the fish finder's good for helping you maybe with that. But this is sort of a no fish zone. So I don't have high hopes in this particular level, you know, where we are right now. But when we get out to port side, and we'll start catching more fish because there's a lot of vegetation out there, and we'll be catching more fish up there. I mean, I fished around the docks. There's always fish around the docks. So that's where I caught the largemouth and the smallmouth, and then that big old perch wasn't too far from the docks. So he was big. Wasn't a fatty, you know, but it was long. Like I said, that's the biggest perch I ever caught in this lake. This lake does not have big perches. So this is really light line. So you can't let your, it's a shallow spool too. So you have to, sometimes in a boat, you have to chase down your fish. So if they start to spool, you're going to take out a lot of line. Turn the boat into the fish and then keep the line tight that way in order to not lose all your line. It's very important not to lose all your line. So now we're sort of heading out into the bay, or this part of the lake. The northern part of the lake's not really a bay. It's part of the lake. And as we go out here, there's vegetation about, I don't know, 600 yards out there. And I'm starting to see some vegetation on the fish finder now down here. So you never know. Fish, they hide, especially the big guys. They hide and they jump up and they get their meals. Ambushers, raiders, things like that. So as we go out here, I mean, it's going to be 15 to 12 feet all the way across here, and which is great. Sometimes it'll get down to about 8 feet, which is better. So we'll come out here and see if we can't get over to that 8-foot area where all the vegetation is. And since this only dives and holds at 3 feet, it's actually a pretty good bait. But this big old giant jerk bait should work really, really well out there too, for a much larger fish. You know, this bait right here will catch just about anything, from big fish to little fish. So it's a more popular bait because of its size. When you go with a bigger bait, you limit your smaller fish. You're not going to catch small fish because the bait's bigger than the fish. That's 6.5-inch bait. So you're going to catch a 12-inch or bigger in bass, half-pounder on up. Yeah, stuff like that. Trout are stupid. You know, they'll hit anything cool that swims by them. So right now, if you were to come to Lake of the Woods, you just want to catch everything. You know, you could use a rooster tail. That'll catch everything. You know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel on this one. The water's at that really good point to where all fish are sharing the same column of water. It's not too cold for the bass. It's not too warm for the trout. So this is surface temp, just below surface. There's some fish right there. We just hit a drop off. So we lost the bottom, now 30 feet. So we need to go further up. That down there was probably trout that I saw on that drop off. There was a school of trout. And they looked like they were about 20 feet. So I always keep an eye on stuff like that. People ask, you know, if they're going trout fishing, we can tell them where to find the trout. 30 feet. You gotta keep going up, 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 up. Big vegetation there. There's a fish or two hiding in there. Might be big. You know, something else too is that, you know, big fish, they will camouflage themselves to your radar unless they're swimming. I mean, they will dive and they will hide in rocks, under wood. And so when you look at radar on your fish finder, you're really looking for surfaces. You know, you're really looking for the depth and irregularities, a dip, wood, things like that. That's what you know, we're back into 15 feet. And vegetation, and just ambush spots, you know, what you're looking for. Hopefully I'll get my edge rod this week. I don't know. Send an email asking him to send me tracking. I'm very disappointed with Gary Loomis with edge rods. Their customer service is terrible. I think they're understaffed. I don't really hold it against them. I hold it against the management, you know, for understaffing the company. They can't make rods. They can't ship them expeditiously. They just don't have the manpower or woman power, I guess, that they need. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'd like to break that rod in on this month's derby. Yeah, trout. you know, but we'll catch some trout with it. You know, it's a medium fast, so, you know, it's, it can, I think it's weighted from 1/8 ounce to ½ ounce is its weight. So should be able to cast pretty good with really small spinners and stuff like that. So, all right, so we're heading up. We're coming sort of in that large area that I like. This is sort of my lunker spot, you know. So this spot is really good for lunkers. You can catch some really nice sized bass out here. You know, 3-pounders. That's a nice size, especially on an ultralight. You catch a 3-pounder on an ultralight, you might as well have hooked a whale. I do have my video glasses, but they're polarized, so I put them on, I can see you. It'd be really dark right now. I mean, the sun will break out today, I'm pretty sure. A lot of, you know, clouds right now. So now I'm really looking for a lot of vegetation though. And it's dark, so I can't see into the water. But darker water, darker baits. Remember that. So when you have stained water or darker water, use darker baits. Don't use bright baits. In order to have color, you have to have light. So in darker water, fish are looking for profiles. They're not looking for colors per se. So, so this is a darker bait. We're coming into good vegetation right now. So this is that sweet area. It's actually rather large. It's about 500 yards by 500 yards, you know, so this is a big area on the lake that you can catch a lot of big bass. There's a big long tree there. A few fish right above it, probably some crappie. Now a big crappie will hit this thing. I've had that happen. Hit crappie and this like hit my swim bait. Crazy. Crazy. Those guys are working the lily pads over there. I don't think I don't think the water's warm enough for lily pad fishing. I think I got salad. This is salad. Gotta have salad with protein, right? Here it comes. Here it comes. All right. Yeah, those guys are bass fishing. We've landed three species so far. Largemouth, smallmouth, and perch. Weird. Big old perch. It was nice, actually. See, it's just wound up on itself. When you get that, you know, sometimes it's good to start, you know, stop the cast right before it hits the water. It'll tug on it and it'll keep the bait from fouling on its own line. That's a good looking bait. It really is a good looking bait the way it swims. I mean, just a pew, 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 you know, really violent side to side action on this bait. I like that. I like that a lot. Get a little closer to the buoys over here. Yeah, I really like it. I'm glad I bought a bunch of them. I painted them all different too. So some are real dark, some are very light, some are striped, some are not, some are crappie. I mean, really, actually, it's a great variety of this particular bait that I painted. This was the first paint job I did. I bought some new color shifting paint and I wanted to try it. It's gorgeous. really like this. It's called something dork. I can't forget the word dork, but the paint is called something dork. And it's really, really good color shifting paint. But it only comes in like 20 milliliters or something. You know, it's really small. So you'll go through a lot of it, I'm sure, because it's so pretty. Yeah, we're in a good spot here, so be interesting. Let's try this jerkbait. We're going to try this big old jerkbait. We're going to see what happens with it. And see if we can't get some attention to it. I think the white belly is really going to help it. And because I put a white belly on it. So this is the jerkbait. This is the rod that'll be replaced by that edge when I finally get it. That's the jerkbait. Oh, and it has a magnetic, what do you call it, BBs in it or something? Weight transfer system in it, so it casts much farther. You're just going to jerk it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but, when you pull it in, you're just going to give it, reel it, jerk, reel it, jerk. That's why they call them jerk baits, because you're jerking it. And it causes the bait, it's got a really good swim action too. This is a knockoff of something, I don't know. I'm not very good lefty, so I have to go right. Should cast it more to my left. It's a big bait, so really narrowing down our catch with just bigger fish on this one. I do have my one big guy over there. Be interesting if I can get him out this morning. Let's try him. Let's see if he's there. That boat's moving, so I hope they don't know my spot. They are working the lily pads. They're not going to catch much on the lily pads right now. This is a pretty bait. It looks, the way I painted it, the colors, it looks like scales. The bait does. So the main body of the bait, okay, they're stopping. They go to the common place. Good, they can stay there. That place where they're at right now, last year hit pretty good, but this year it doesn't. So this actually is the better hitting spot. Go offshore, but there it's that beast that I hooked once. It's over here. And hopefully they anchor or stay there. They can spot lock it there. I really I could just zip over there with my boat, but I don't want to look too excited for my spot, because that might push them over there. And even though we're trolling this, you'll still jerk it. Yeah, they anchored. Good. I think they're I want them to stay there. I don't want them to go to my spot. My spot has one fish. I have his address, I just don't have his number yet. I got some knockoffs of the speed wake too. That's 6 cents. Another great bait. So, painted 5 of those. Really nice. I got one, but speed wake's a wake bait, so 63-degree water, we're not going to get top water hits. If you do, it's a fluke. So, yeah. there. Just go a little faster. Again, I don't want to look too anxious for this spot. When there's other fishermen out there, especially with my reputation, people look to see where I fish. And I don't mind them fishing where I fish. I just don't like them getting there before me. After I fish it out, they can have it. That's what I get. So they can have that spot. I've caught nothing big in that area this year, just tiny little guys. Bigger ones are along the shore south of that. So we're going to work this one fish. There's one fish where we're going. And I want him. Now, this is a medium. And on a garage sale rod, I would rather have that edge. But it's an IM 8 so it should be strong enough for a 10-pound fish. I have 20-pound test, I think, on it. So I think we'll be just fine on it. Yeah, they laid anchor. Fine with me? Fine with me. Whoop. Oh. I think that's just grass. It's just grass. We caught a small bass. See, you just catch small ones over there. You just catch small ones over there. That's what you catch. So, there's the beast. This beast is here. Just grass. Big weed. All right, so here's my baby. And this thing is about this. You'll want this big old beautiful jerk bait like that. What I say. They've lately been hitting on the pause, so as you jerk it, let the pause happen for a second, maybe, because it'll flash. It's just guy's so smart. I mean, he's old for a reason. This fish is so smart. I mean, he hit me once, and that was it. He's smart. He smarted up. He got smart on me. One shot I had on this kid, on this fish, and I didn't get him. Right there, right where it landed. That's where he lives. I know he lives there because a snorkeler saw him. So he's still there. I've thrown worms, I've thrown chatterbait, I've thrown a bunch of stuff at this guy. The whole kitchen sink. So these are brand new painted baits. brand new painted baits. I mean, he's never seen these. So I'm hoping I'll confuse him. And he'll just hit it. Come on, baby. I'll put you back. Just take pictures, measure you, weigh you, and put you back. It'll be like a checkup. That's what it is. I want to give you a checkup. That's what I want. God, this is really good looking bait. This is the first time I've used it, so. Sometimes just play with the presentation a little bit. Real speed, jerks, let it sit. This guy is so big I can't throw an ultralight, rod. Medium, heavy rod, but cannot. If he goes for something like that swank, they'll break my line. He's just too big. He's just too big. He's double digits. This guy's double digits. I've never seen a fish this big in freshwater. Should have seen him. Wish I videotaped the hit, because my topwater was sitting on top of that log. He came out from under the log and just exploded on it. And I was ready for him. He just won that battle. That's what happens. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that time, I lost. To my chagrin. So actually, that day I caught two very big bass. Or actually hooked two bass. I lost both battles. Well, the second one I wasn't ready for. So when I went to set the hook, I couldn't really set the hook real good, so. Come on. You gotta love this bait. This is a great bait. Really is a good bait. I'd bite it. I painted it. Jerk baits work good too. You just gotta sort of find the presentation mode that the fish wants out of the jerk bait. Come on, gotta be there. He's gotta be there still. He's such a big guy. This is his territory. I mean, there ain't no other fish around him. This is like, he's the king of the tree right here. Let's try just reeling it. Let's burn it through the water. Let's see what happens. If you just, not jerk it and just burn it through the water, because we haven't tried that yet. Let's see if we can't get a hit. It's got good side-to-side wobble, even on a straight retrieve. landing it right where I want it. He's not going to hit it today. That's a good bait. You know how frustrating that is, guys? You know? You know how frustrating that is? To know he's there and you just can't get him. I'm going to go back to the swing. Go out a little deeper. A little farther, actually. And, but he's there. I know he's there because my heart says he's there. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You know, with clouds in the sky, it's real pretty. Overcast days are better fishing days, too. So we're in 10 feet of water, and it's about 4 or 5 feet of vegetation on the bottom. So this swank is actually a pretty good bait to throw. Because of it's leveling off at 3 feet. So, man, I can't believe it. You know, he's going to be, one day somebody's going to catch that beast. I will be happy for him, but jealous at the same time. We've been having really good success, right? I should say me. Actually, my buddies too. They're not with me. But we have good success right out here. You know, along the shoreline, there's some beasts too. So, you know, I just want to, you know, so you want to work the shoreline. It's just, you know, we're not catching that much this year along the shoreline on the west side. So, and normally, you'd work it pretty good, you know? It gets pretty good over there. This year it just didn't hit. And even the lily pads this year. It was weird. It's like the fish moved, you know, they figured us out. So they moved to a different spot in the lake, which was out here. So we're at 10 feet with about 5 feet of vegetation down below us. So this is a really good spot. And we got some vegetation. Yeah, we broke it off good. It's really tall vegetation here. And you want that. Where there's grass, there's bass. in our depth. Water's very clear. You can see the vegetation. It's like a forest down below. Forest underneath us right now. Snag. He's working the boat. I wonder what is he going there for? Well, I really wanted to try that spot, so then we're going to go over to Rainbow Bay, I think. No, we'll just stay up here at Aspen Bay. Stay up here in Aspen. We're going to go out here. I really just want to try that one spot. We're not giving up on Aspen because Aspen's good. So just wanted that one spot. I got it there. I got there before they did. The other boat. That chirping, tweet, tweet, tweet. Those are ospreys. They're topwater fishermen too. Probably a third of a pound bass we just went over. That'd be fun on this. Go north now. Like this one. And this is the drop off right here. So a little divot right here. And if I throw a drop shot or a worm or something down there, I'll catch something. It's like a canyon, small one, an indentation. And again, that's the stuff you want to find, you know. Although, you know, I'm working hard bait, so. they did. That's good. I mean, hopefully they catch the beast. That'd be awesome. I would hope they'd be sporty and put it back in the lake. I think they would. I think they catch it. Try not to catch your privates. We're going to try a dark bait. This is another one I painted recently with this new color shifting paint. It's round bill. Again, there's a 9-foot dive, depending on how I retrieve. But sort of it's green to purple. The water's dark because there's less light, so we're going to switch this up a little bit. Go a little deeper in the water column. And this has beautiful swim to it, like a snake. Really very pretty swim pattern to it, to this particular bait. Just snakes itself through the water. Good rattle to it. For an 18 feet of water, it's actually a really good depth for this bait. Whoa, a ton of fish we just went over. We're drifting this way. All right. Try to keep aware of where, the direction that you're drifting. When you see a school of fish like that, understand where they were. So we're just gonna see if we can attract one. In on that cast. A little brisk out today. It's a good thing I got the warm jacket today. This is my winter jacket. I'm going to wear my ice fishing. But it's also a flotation device. and I'm usually the first one fishing it. So I come out here with a big old piece of rebar. I'm just pounding it, drilling it, test drilling it, just checking the depth. And just working it so I can see how far, if I can get to my favorite spots. When I'm ice fishing, 16 feet depth. That's really, that right there is just like the Goldilocks depth. It's 16 feet. Control this up to the aspen point there. Hopefully we'll get a shot of it. We're at 17, 16 feet. Good vegetation there. I don't see any big fish there though. Catch the vegetation a bit. I don't know. We'll see. You'll know, I mean, when you're trolling too, you'll just, when you catch vegetation, it pulls on it. A bite is a hit. You know, go boom. The vegetation just it pulls on it. He knows it's vegetation. Perch. This is the wrong color for perch, I think. I don't think I'll get a perch in this pink color. That's a tug. That's vegetation. Vegetables. A salad full of protein. Vegetables. Or grass. What people in LA eat. People in LA, they eat weird stuff like kale. Wheat, and they drink wheatgrass. It's supposed to be good for you. It must be, because it tastes like crap. It doesn't taste good, it must be good for you, right? Fishing today. If this wind picks up, the lake starts to white cap, we wait it out, or and then just go and stuff like that. We'll see what happens. My only fishing day, I think, this week. My Friday, I don't know. Saturday's a car show here. I have an old high school buddy. Hopefully, he's going to be in the area. But since I discontinued my Facebook account, I'm really hoping Charlie still has my number. Really hope he still has my number. I tried texting some numbers, that I thought were his, but high school. 1980 we hung out at. I know, 1980. How old am I? A little older than Charlie. We're the same class, but I think I'm a month ahead of him in age. I think it goes by Chuck. He was always Charlie to me, though. There's Charlie. So yeah, man, an old high school buddy of mine. It's very important to bite your bottom lip when you're fishing too. Very important. It helps. Pretty sure it does. Feels like it helps. Man, out there with his kids fishing in their boat. You lose the action on the bait, you know you got something on it. The tip of your tip will actually vibrate, so it kind of helps you to see if the bait's doing its job or not. I'm working with dark bait right here. And with the darker water, I think it's the right choice, although we're about to go back to that swing because we're going to cast towards the shore on this point. And I don't want it to dive too deep. Because it's stay above it. It's picking up a bit. Switch over to the swing as we approach shallower areas. Swing's already proven itself today. Large enough and a small enough. So. This lake can get super windy. You guys know that from last year when I almost died in it. There we go. Oh, missed it. Felt like a little guy. Felt like a little guy working it. Where's the little guy? Now, get it real close to shore. Now we'll put it. Water's coming down quite a bit. A lot less shore showing. It is cold today. Let's still say it's 45 outside. It hasn't warmed up. Still in the 40s. Still. Yeah. I'm glad I brought my warm jacket today, that's for sure. I mean, I run hot. I mean, I can handle it, but I would prefer not to. Prefer not to. Ospreys. I don't want them diving on my bait, although I don't think they would on this one. Work some smallies along the shoreline here. The next 300 yards. Not a bad little smallmouth area. The big bait's form, but we already caught one smallie today, so let's see what we can do here. Water's cooled down. Feels like it's cooled down. 61 degrees. It's amazing. 2 weeks ago, this water was 76 degrees in the afternoon. 15-degree difference. Makes all the difference in fishing, guys. Understand your water temperature. Have a video on it. If you can't afford a fish finder, and that's fine, just bring a pool thermometer with you. Understand the water temperature. Throw a pool thermometer, $10 thermometer in the water. Understand what's going on there. You'll have a much better chance of picking the right lure or bait in order to, target specific fish. It's more than just, water temperature too. We've been talking about the environment on the bottom too. So rocks. Right now we're over rocks. We lost our vegetation. That's why we're in smallmouth area. This is all smallies. And you catch a largemouth probably too, but more than likely this is a smallmouth catch when we hook up. Hey, with kids, worm 1 foot off bottom, catch birds all day long. Derby, which is really designed to get rid of our perch. Most perch win surprise. So we're needed for the wildlife rehabilitation network. We are basically casting right along the shore, about a yard off dirt, pulling it out. A small mouth over here. Cold day. We've lost about 2 feet of water. I think waking up in the morning, smelling bacon, sausage, is them waking up to fire and delicious breakfast. I don't know about you guys, but it seems to be my favorite thing. And camping. Besides candy things. When I wake up early, I get the fire going, and kids can come up and huddle around it, start working at breakfast. That always gets them up too. If you want to find a nice warm area too. So. Well, in 100 yards, you lose all prime real estate from this north. In this year. They breed over here, so a real short bass season this year. I was a little irritated with Loomis, you know. 7 weeks ago I ordered that rod. That's half my bass season right there, 7 weeks, you know. And they just, you know, it's just, what's up with that? I mean, fish seasons are limited, all right? You only have so long, so you have to get the rod out to people. This is an ice fishing rod, all right? It's going to be long. A bass rod? Give me a break, especially in Oregon. They're making it 5.5 hours north of me. I thought about driving up there, but again, it's not my job to fix their inland. Thought about canceling it and getting a Simplified. We got a new one called the Trigon, Megabass or something like that, Trigon. And they got a new one that I wouldn't mind, but it has some really cool things about it. Like I said, I think they're just sorely understaffed. I'm very frustrated lately. I want to be. Frustration is frustration. You don't want to be frustrated. Don't like being frustrated. Yeah, the feeling of frustration is odd, isn't it? It's like, well, when you're frustrated, something's out of your control, but you want control over it. You know, I guess that would be a good definition of frustration, is that you want control, but it's out of your control, so it's frustrating, right? That seems like a good definition for it. Seems like it. So, and since it's out of your control, you shouldn't really worry about it because you can't control it. It's free overhead. A buddy of mine told me a fact. Out of all of our worries, 93% of our worries are things that we can never affect. You know, so don't worry about the President of the United States or Congress or anything. I mean, you can't do anything about it. You can't worry, can't do anything about the, this or that, so we worry about stuff like that. War in the Ukraine, stuff like that. So the statistic is, if you have no control over it, let go of it. So now you've eliminated 93% of the stuff you worry about. That should make you feel pretty good. Out of the 7%, 5% of it typically is stuff down the road. So you can plan to fix it, but you can't fix it today. So that's that. And then out of the last 2% are stuff that we worry about that we can fix today. So if you could take all those worries that you have and eliminate 98% of them, should feel pretty good. Really should. But we're creatures of habit. So we worry about stuff. We're fixers, especially guys. Women are planners, typically. We want to fix everything today. Women, they want to plan for the future. They're smarter than we are when it comes to stuff. But you got to have some things fixed today. We're complements. They do one, we do the other. That handles the last 7%. So our wives really have more things to worry about. They got the 5%, we get the 2%. But both of us can get rid of 93%. That's pretty good. That's just the way it is. Statistically. Easier said than done. Easier said than done, huh? Ooh, it's cold. I did not bring gloves. There's some cover right there. There's a log right there. No fish wanted to take it right there. There's a good little cove. Yeah, around here too, you start seeing a lot of raccoons. Tons of raccoons. They live right along the shoreline there. Those down trees. Yeah, we lost 2 feet of water. Yeah. This year we were at capacity. The lake was. It had reached its capacity for a long time. I've never caught one for a while. I play hooks right here. But I'm really not too frustrated. Yeah. Frustration, wanting control when you can't have it. That's a good definition. I don't know what the definition of frustration is, but that's a pretty good definition. Wanting control when you can't have it. Definition of Mike Ruffino's definition of frustration. I don't know, look it up. Anybody who's on, look up frustration and post it. Kind of curious what Webster says, wherever. People still use Webster's dictionary? I don't know. Nowadays, dictionaries still used? I guess they have to. They have definitions. Everything's online nowadays, though. And my high school graduation, my 5th and 6th grade teacher came to it. She gave me a gift I still have, which is a Webster's dictionary. Typical, huh? But she was the best teacher ever. 5th and 6th grade. She loved our class so much in 5th grade. She had the school district give her the exact same class the next year. So for 2 years we had Mrs. Smith, and she was the best teacher ever. For me. You guys probably all had one of the best teachers ever. I hope you did. Mrs. Smith was awesome. So, but yeah, she's doing her Webster's Dictionary still up today. Still have my Webster's Dictionary, red one. 1982. I graduated high school. I think she's still around. She's a pretty lady. She ended up getting divorced. She married our dean of our high school. Oh, Coleman. So her last name went from Smith to Coleman. Kay Smith. Her name is Kay Comer. I wonder if she's still around. I would hope so. I would hope so. She was a young, teacher, so I would have put her maybe 30. So she's probably 17 years older than me, so 67. So she'd be 76 today or so, give or take. So yeah, she'd probably still. Probably still lives in Lompoc, my old Arthur town. She had a son a little younger than me. Well, she's probably 20 years older than me, so she had a son. Well, that's it. So her son was a few years younger than me. She was the best. She was the best. Kay Smith. Ask me how I remember her first name. Because all kids' teachers are Mrs. and Misters. I remember her first name. K-A-Y. The restaurant should be open in 5 minutes. Huh? The lights on it. Huh. Open at 9. Yeah, there's okay, there. It's hard to see. There we go. Back to the smallmouth area. Now, kind of do expect to catch something over here. Rather get down there a little deeper. Go a little bit. It gets windy. These pontoon boats get tossed to the wind. down. Hoping nobody notices I'm doing a lot of fishing with boats. Ain't nobody here today. About 5 boats on the water. Don't have that many boats. Oh, there we got one. Oh, nice smallie. Oh, he feels good. He feels good. Oh, he's good. Let's get him in a net. Oh, he's good sized smallmouth. Look at that. Told you we were in the back of the smallmouth area. Half pounder, maybe a 3/4 pounder. Nice smallmouth. Okay, there you go. Nice smallmouth. And not very much. Sometimes you don't have to go far. Here's the dock. Don't have to go far sometimes. You can catch some nice ones. My bass tournament, everybody's zipping around trying to get to their holes. And since I have no fast motor, I always have to. I stick around where we launch. Catch there. That's what I do. That was a nice smallie. Again, smallies are the best fighting fish. You just want, I mean, on a light tackle, smallmouths are the best. Really hard. Yeah, he bet the rod. He was fighting it. It was fun. Things like that just make the day better. Anyway, we enjoy fishing, don't we? But we love catching. We love catching. I like catching. He was good size, 3/4 pound. Yeah. That's you know, this bait that I painted, this swing, it's working pretty good. Working pretty good. I think I want something warm in me right now. 62-degree water over here. I really want the sun to come out. Really want the sun to come out. put in, grab some hot chocolate. A cold one. Want something warm in my hands. I did not bring a drink today. It really does feel good. Nice little cloud break right there. Disappear in a minute. Big clouds around there. We got a little bit more blue sky above us, but a lot of clouds though. Some rain clouds. Some fish right here. Grab one on a troll. Grab one on a troll. So we got a nice smallie right there. That was fun. Now we're in sort of largemouth area here. So going around. Put it. Get something warm in my hands. So. Yeah. Let's get that out of it. Labor Day at a lake, at a beautiful lake. We got like four boats on the water, something like that, maybe 5. Wild, huh? Yeah, not everybody's got today off though. But typically this is the last day of summer. You know, when I was growing up, school always started the day after Labor Day. So that Tuesday, school always started. And my daughter, she starts school, my youngest, she starts school, when is it? Wednesday, day after tomorrow, she starts school. Must be the same company that makes fishing rods for Gary Loomis. Season's ending. Rental season in. It is a very pretty day. It's amazing color. Really good color shift on it. All right, catch some, get something warm in my hands. So we'll see you later. Thanks for visiting. Reconnect, baby. I gotta figure out this thing. Okay, there's